If you sell education or any type of a program, you have 3 sales teams, not 2. And you're most certainly ignoring most profitable one. Most people have a team that creates opportunity, they're setters, the team that closes it, they're closers, and then they completely miss the third one, they neglect it, which is the team that retains and sends clients they already acquired. And this is your customer success team. And when you run it right, it isn't just like support, getting people to random check-ins, or hopping on calls with coaches that are here or there. Sometimes they sell you to the other program, to their own coaching that they run, is run like a sales team. And here's the problem though. Almost everyone treats CSMs just like glorified support desks, because a lot of the times they are doing those tasks, which is another mistake. Last month, this third sales team brought in 12% of our revenue, over 150K, on the business doing 1.5 million per month. And it's a team of around 14 people. And once you count the refunds they save and the disputes they win, this team was worth to us at least 100K on top of that. So if you feel like this team is underperforming or you don't really have a way to track it, stick around and I'll tell you how to turn it around. And if it's useful, tap a like button, it really helps the channel out. So let's get into it. Let's start with why you can get away with ignoring it, because you can for a while. If you're under 200 to like 300K per month, honestly, you can run a pretty sloppy CSM team and just survive. Your marketing carries you, but here's the important thing. You'll end up a business that's completely dependent on the front end, and it's a pure marketing-led direct response machine. And there's nothing wrong with starting there. Most of us started there. The problem is it's really hard to keep scaling if you don't have the system that delivers on the promises that you made. And it's also hard to scale with the promises that you can give with a pretty sloppy delivery. So at the end, one of the best ways to scale is to make bigger promises and keep them. But to actually keep them and don't like burn out the sales team, burn out yourself, it has to actually be delivered. Next thing is you're basically resetting at 0 every single month, like praying the ads keep working. And you probably heard all those horror stories when people went from 900K per month back to 100K per month just because they got their ad account banned, or their sales team, their sales leader left, or things like that. And here's the thing about a CSM team. If it's not as big as it should be, or it's not following a real process, it doesn't just underperform. It can turn into a cost for your business. So you're paying for a team that just answers random questions, billing questions, and a lot of the times they get backed down and they just don't have time to create revenue for you. So instead of making you money, they cost you money, and they do like $10 per hour, $20 per hour activities, not the $100 per hour plus activities that actually make you money. So there's like, it's kind of like a high risk, high reward department. Not like sales team. Sales team, you can just take a week off and they don't make you money, they don't make money. CSM still costs you money. It's the same for support people. And so you have to make that shift. You have to manage your CSM like you manage your setters or closers. Same energy, same aggression, same accountability for the actual results, if not more aggressive, because you're paying them a freaking salary, right? They're not there to sit and wait for tickets or wait for clients to get to them, right? They're there to aggressively get out and get results for their clients and keep their clients accountable, just as the salespeople hold clients accountable during the sales process. Their job is to retain and ascend, right? Collect case studies, get referrals. We'll cover the retain part at the start. So their job is to retain clients, ascend them, get the case studies and testimonials, and get the referrals. Sometimes also prevent or fight refunds. However, we're just going to cover those two first ones in this video. So job number 1 is to retain. So their job is to talk to clients and actually commit them to doing the work, hitting their activation points. If you haven't seen my video on activation points, it's basically getting clients to their first real wins, because the clients who collects wins doesn't refund or doesn't churn. So a huge part of retention is just refund and dispute prevention. And that alone pays for the team many times over. And path number 2 is ascending, right? This is the part people never even attempt. US CSMs reach out aggressively. They spot out the moment client is ready for more. Usually after a win, they see an upsell and they move that client into their backend offer, right? Through proper setting and proper process around that to get them from setting call to a closing call and do it with the same level of intensity as we do on the front end. A lot of the times I see those like backend offers, the most like the weakest thing I've seen in my life, right? Now you can't send people into nothing, so you need backend offer for them. I'm not going to get into how to build one. I made a whole separate video on it. Just know the offer matters a lot. And let me show you why it's worth obsessing over that department. So backend revenue is almost pure profit. It's like 75 to 80% profit because you already pay to acquire those people. So you have no ad costs, no new lead costs, and it drops nearly straight to the bottom line. And our current sales teams pulls anywhere between 30 to 150K per month in backend sales. And I'm also keeping it small on purpose right now because our front end is scaling so hard. So we are really in the process of hiring the right people and training them. And another business I worked with on the single push the existing client and pull 150K. Or the business doing only 100K per month in revenue from the people, the already sold ones. This is the kind of money sitting right in your client base. For a coaching business selling to general public, getting 15% of your revenue from backend is very doable. And once you have it, something bigger happens. Your lifetime value compared to your acquisition cost gets so much better than your competitors, and you can outspend them on ads and still profit. You can stop needing to be the best in your market. You can stop being the best marketer in your space. Even though delivering on the promises that you made will make you into a better marketer, because now you can promise even crazier things. We also give you more material to deliver. Like the easiest marketing you have is just, hey, talk to my clients, right? All 1,000 of them are a Trustpilot, or all talk to my case studies, all 170 of them that we got in the last quarter, right? There is a natural lesson from one of the hardest periods that I've ever went through. So with one of the business I was running, we lost our ad account. Like we lost 130K in a month because of refunds. We ran one promotion and turned out, well, we can't actually deliver on it, and the business couldn't support it, right? And we had no new leads coming in. And the only thing that saved us was going deep with the clients we already had, delivering so much value, they paid us to keep going. And we had a mountain of delivery work and basically no new sales for like 60 days or even longer. And following the exact process that I'm describing here saved our business, right? This is when it really clicked for me that in those situations when you can't get more clients or you don't have time to deliver to get more clients, you can use your existing ones, deliver great results, keep them accountable, and they will appreciate it to giving you even more business, right? Now, on a practical note, because this is where a lot of businesses get stuck. They believe they should do it, but they just don't have the time. And the great CSMs are hard to find. Of course, you want someone with a real experience in the industry who can also handle billing and admin, move fast, and has sales skills. This combination of those three things is relatively rare, right? So we split those roles and specialize. We have somebody who handles support and admin and logistics, right? Support person, admin, whoever, a VA. And then we have your CSMs, and we really try to connect the setting at least and CSM role. So those CSMs spot ascension opportunities because then we can compensate for them and we can get better talent because of it, right? And then we have either a director of CSM or quite frankly, a closer that closes it, and it closes very well, right? I wouldn't be getting closers to be CSMs. A lot of the times they'll be too obsessed with revenue and keep upselling people without actually really helping them, right? And we don't ask CSMs to just deliver on all of this because it's very hard to find that type of a person. Even when you do, it's expensive. And then you get somebody who makes like 150K per year who's doing support role, right? So we very much should compartmentalize, I guess that's the word, to scale those departments properly. Sometimes you can also have a delivery department that is giving the deliverables to CSMs and they communicate with clients, right? They are the client facing. So when do you start? You should have a backend and you should start sooner than you think. The first move is the exact same way. And the right way to build it is the exact same way you build your front end. Build your backend offer, sell it yourself a few times to existing customers, take the calls, set them, close them, deliver on them, and then give it to a CSM. After that, I recommend you, the founder or director of client success, take those ascension calls, sell them, And few of the most common mistakes is number one, neglecting this department, not having daily meetings, or thinking it will be just the cost for the business, right? You should never hire a CSMs if they're going to be a cost. You should only hire them if they're going to make business money through ascensions, retentions, and refunds. If you don't, well, you don't need to hire them. You can hire somebody cheaper, or quite frankly, nobody. Next thing is not giving them consistent feedback, right? So we set up weekly feedback loops, and we try to give one feedback per CSM per week. It keeps them accountable, and they keep progressing towards their goals of revenue and things like that. And the next one is not setting up their payments in a way that incentivizes the right actions. They just have salary, day shift, and they are not incentivized to hop on with the client at 7 p.m. on Saturday because nobody's paying for it, right? Who cares? However, if you set up the incentive structure in a proper way, of course, give them some PTO, as just an example, they will really want to talk to clients. They will be excited for it, and over time you can create a culture where we go above and beyond for clients, which is how you scale a real business, and this is how you also outsell your competition, by actually being the best. So here's what exactly I want you walk away with. You don't need to keep selling harder and finding new angles to grow, right? You can break past the revenue ceiling if you nail the backend. You can start by either doing a big launch, delivering to it, why not? Or you can do it yourself. Just as you figure out the front end, you can also figure out the back end and get that help from the CSMs. Build a real CSM department. A sales team can unlock another 30 to 50% of your revenue, and it can happen within the next couple of months. It doesn't take as much time, and it doesn't need to take as much money, and you can do it fast. So really make it a priority. And if you want to get started with creating your backend offer, I created a video about it, so go watch it on my channel. See you in the next video.